Goeiedag, good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world.
I've been looking around for salvation. I've been looking around for the truth. All around me I see frustration, and I looked all over till I found you. I sit and listen to your stories, and you're telling me, please don't worry. Lot in this world you should know, and love in life is where you should go. If you're looking for somewhere to go, if you're looking for someone to know, if you're looking for someone to guide you, then love in life will guide you.
Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world, and welcome to tonight's live stream. And welcome to the Loving Life family, and not such a big welcome to the Google moderators. First off, it gives me great pleasure to announce that Shane Vickerman, also known as Jan van Riebeck, has joined an exclusive club. Congratulations, Shane, on becoming a Loving Life channel hero. Shane's generosity is quite extraordinary. The reason we don't see him on live streams is because he is working nights to stay alive and only watches the live streams in the morning. Despite this fact, he is generous to a fault, and accordingly, welcome Shane to becoming a Loving Life channel hero. Next, an update on the vaccine issues. I hope Google moderators are listening carefully. More countries have followed Denmark by suspending approval of the AstraZeneca Oxford COVID vaccine. Those countries include Iceland, Norway, Denmark, Estonia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Latvia, and Italy. They have all opted to halt the use of the AstraZeneca vaccine, creating more problems for Europe's sluggish vaccine rollout. The halts follow incidents involving blood clots in patients who recently received the vaccine. 2 incidents were reported in Austria, although Vienna is allowing the vaccine to continue to be used, at least for now. Serious cases of blood clots have been reported in Denmark and other countries as well. And of course, Australia's health minister fell critically ill just 24 hours after he had the AstraZeneca jab. For the Google Thought Police watching, my source is Zero Hedge, and the news from these countries confirming what I've just said. Meanwhile, Dr. Fauci, chief medical advisor to President Biden, while admitting there is no science for the lockdown, says we will give more and more guidelines. What can vaccinated people do in the home setting? Get that? In your home setting, what vaccinated people can do. And if you don't believe me, here it is from his interview on CNN today.
You know from the Biden administration that they say it will make its decisions based on science. What's the science behind not saying it's safe for people who have been vaccinated, received 2 doses, to travel?
You know, that's a very good question, John. And the CDC is carefully heading in that direction. You know, when Dr. Walensky made the announcement a day or two ago about the fact that when you have a couple of people, 2 or 3 or more people in a family setting, both of whom are vaccinated, even if it's someone from a friend that doesn't have to be a member of the family, that was the first in a multi-step process that they are going to be rolling out. They're being careful, understandably. They want to get science. They want to get data. And then when you don't have the data and you don't have the actual evidence, then you've got to make a judgment call. And I think that's what you're going to be seeing in the next weeks. You're going to see little by little more and more guidelines getting people to be more and more flexible. The first installation of this is what can vaccinated people do in the home setting. Obviously, the next one is going to be what you're asking. What about travel? What about going out? What about getting a haircut? What about doing things like that? That's all imminently going to be coming out.
In terms of...
Okay, I think you get the message. There's no science behind the lockdown. It's a judgment call. That's what they're talking about. Quite extraordinary. Think how it's destroyed all the economies of the world. Absolutely crazy. Bottom line, what the heck are Big Pharma shooting into your body? There's one great truth. Once jabbed, you can't go back. Now, our intrepid walkers are going to get new tackies tomorrow. Edward and Jarrett, who are wearing ill-fitting tackies, are going on the epic walk that we're covering each morning on Loving Life from 6 o'clock in the morning, Johannesburg time. They are currently in Colenso, on their way to Ladysmith. Thanks to the generosity of our Loving Life family, and in particular, Fiona Timms, who I see is here tonight, this goal has been achieved. There will be more coverage tomorrow, later in the day at Ladysmith, as Viking Boer takes care of their welfare in that town. Wow. Now, just to let you know, Fiona Timms made a donation of 3,300 Rand, and that's pretty well covers the tackies. And the extra money that's been donated will be given to the walkers who've got very little money and put onto a Capitec card, and that's going to be organized by Marius tomorrow. Or sorry, on Friday afternoon or Saturday morning. All right, let's get on to tonight. Tonight we meet 3 ladies, Annari du Plessis, Jacki Brits, and Annelle Vermeulen. They are all involved in the charitable organization known as Eagle Wings. And currently there are over 400,000 white people staying in shelter or white squatter camps. That is roughly 10% of the white population in South Africa. This reflects the impact of the ANC government's policy, the race-based employment, like black economic empowerment, which basically says if you are white, you cannot get a job. And for the Google moderators, this might come as a surprise to you, but just Google black economic empowerment and look it up for yourselves and see what it's all about. Okay? Good. Now, I'm going to get my guests on. Here we go. I'll start with Annari du Plessis, who we've had on several times before. And she's quite a character. Hi, Annari. How are you?
Hi, Scott. I'm fine, and you?
Excellent, thank you. Excellent. I'll just get Jacki and Annelle on. Okay, won't be a second. So tell us what you've been up to while I'm getting them on.
Well, I'm up to painting and painting and painting again because we had a lot of rain and we had some damages at the trauma center.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So we've been painting, we're renovating, and we actually plan to formal launch in April.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, with the trauma unit, a little coffee shop. We are so excited, a little gym for poor women and children. So we're very much excited for April. But yeah, we're doing good, Scott. God is good all the time.
Fantastic. You know, you're an absolute dynamo, I have to tell you. And hi, Jacki, how are you?
Fine, and you, Scott?
I think you know Annari.
Hi, Jacki.
Hi, Andri.
Hoe gaan dit met julle?
Goed en jy?
Always good. Jy weet mos, like with you, it's always good.
Yeah, we're trying, yeah.
All right. Now I'm just trying to get Annelle on. Let me just see. She hasn't actually joined us yet. I'll just try again, and I'll add to the call. Here we go. Let's try again. All right. While I'm just waiting on that, now I've been reading up about how, Jacki, you set up Eagle Wings, and how these kids came to your gate and they were starving and you helped them with food. Do you want to tell people exactly what happened? How Eagle Wings started?
Yeah, that was in 2010 that the three little boys were at my gate and asked us some food. And that night I couldn't sleep, and the next day I said to myself, yeah, I'm going to start a project where we're going to give the children food. So that's when we started, and we start cooking for the children 3 times a week. And on the end of it, there was 110 children and elderly people that we gave food per week.
Wow.
So it was a lot of people that we fed, yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. Now I'm just going to see if I can get Annelle again. Jacki, can you call Annelle and tell her that I'm trying to get her on, but she's not responding onto Skype? If you can just call her on your cell.
Okay.
Because she did say confirm she was going to be here.
All right.
Now, while you're doing that, Annari, so
yes, Scott.
You never stop, do you? I mean, I've told so many people the story about how you just saw this old church and you decided that's where you were going to set up shop, and you didn't have a cent to your name, and you put down a bid for the place, and bang, 300,000 rand just landed in your bank account, and
not 300,000, 3 million.
3 million rand.
3 million. You are shrieking this miracle. It was 3 million.
I'm sorry. I'll give myself a slap on the wrist.
But let me just tell you the good news, Scott, because remember that this old church was still in the name of our donators who's in Secunda. And on the 24th of January this year, I got a call from Timan from Secunda saying that they, as the church, had a meeting and they have decided to hand over the building to us because I've proven myself to be truthful, to be loyal, and they just want to hand over the building now into our NPO. So we are so excited. I cannot tell you. So, yeah, we are going to have that old church into the NPC, and we are very much looking forward in owning that not 300,000 rand building, 3
million rand building.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I must tell you, Scott, I want to say that the ladies that are on with us tonight, Annelle and Jacki, you know what? I met them when we were so desperate for help, where a woman was involved, a man and a woman was involved with their 4 children. She was pregnant with number 5, I think. And that's where I first learned about them. And these ladies that are on the screen, to all the listeners, are amazing ladies. And yes, they've helped me a lot. I cannot say I've helped them a lot, but they have helped me a lot. And I'm so proud of them. And I'm really hoping that they can share their hearts and what happened with Eagle Wings, because this is a miracle story as well.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward just to be a small part of this tonight. I see Annali's there and everybody is there. So praise the Lord. Let's go with this.
Okay. Now, sorry, we got two ladies. Which one is Annelle?
Annelle, can you hear Scott?
Annelle? Hello?
Annelle?
Yes.
So Annelle is the lady with the red hair, is it? Right. And
Yes.
and what's the name of the other lady? Because I don't know.
It's Karika.
Karika. Hi, Karika. Good to meet you as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Thank you, Scott.
just for those watching, we got about 150 people watching at the moment. Just for those watching, the ladies in the column on the right-hand side are all from Eagle Wings. And Annari, who's got half the screen by herself. I mean, she's big and bold, let's face it. She's normally got purple hair. Annari is from another organization, charitable organization called Go Purple. And we've had Annari on our live stream several times in the past. Now, I put a question to Jacki before you guys came on, and I said, basically, how did Eagle Wings come about? Now, I'm going to put this question to Annelle and to, I'm sorry, I've forgotten.
Karika.
Karika. I'm going to write that down. Give me a second. That's a most unusual name.
Yes, please.
Scott, am I allowed to just explain, because I was naughty before we came on? I just called Jacki and Annelle. So I just want to explain. There was another guy who was supposed to be on Zander from 90.6, but he cannot make it. So Karika, that is on here, is one of the ladies who's became a resident at Eagle Wings. So I think it's a good idea that somebody who's living there, when Annelle said she's going to be on, I thought it's a good thing. So Karika is staying in Eagle Wings, and that's why she's also here, because Zander cannot be on.
Right. Okay. That's great. That's fine. The more the merrier.
Yes.
The bigger the party, huh? Now, Annelle, I guess one of the biggest problems for homeless kids is the education of our kids, especially grade R. How do you get funds for that?
On this stage, we don't get any funds for that. We've got two goals that is supposed to go to grade R this year. And the school previous, they help us, but from this year they said, no, they can't help us anymore. We must pay 850 Rand per child per month. So for our parents, they've got only a SASSA allowance. They can't afford that.
And the government, the ANC government, don't help at all, do they?
No, they don't fund. If a fund for grade R, you must pay the school that money, because it's not part of the government. And they said it's only from grade 1 that the government can fund them, but grade R is not. They mustn't go to school already. It's not compulsory. Yeah.
I find that quite extraordinary, and I'll tell you why. You've got the economic freedom fighters who are on the steps of ULA, the University of South Africa, causing trouble, demanding free university education. And here you've got young kids who can't even get basic education, and the ANC government do absolutely nothing to help them.
Yeah, Scott, I think we are all shocked, because I heard today on the news that because of the toying and the chaos that was caused yesterday, I listened this afternoon just to hear that the government is going to set more money available for students that want to study. But our concerns is what about these children that we talk about? The SASSA allowances that these parents get are so little that they cannot afford. We have many cases where the parents just say, but I can't send my child to school because I don't have the money to do it. So yeah, I think it's around the world, it's like this, but in South Africa especially, we know how it is to meet people who say, but I just cannot afford to send my child to school. It's horrible.
And I think for those people who are watching from overseas, it's very important they understand that much of what we're talking about here is race-based. In other words, the ANC government are helping out the black population, but the white population are being persecuted in South Africa, even though the mainstream media don't talk about that. Now, Annari, would you like to add to what I've just said?
Yes, Scott, I just wanted to say, we all know about the Driehoek tragedy that happened where that bridge fall. And I know this is not, this is my last comment on this, just based on what you said. There were other children who died in schools, incidents where children died. And those people, I heard that some of them have received money and things like that. But the Driehoek children families to date did not really receive a lot of support from Mr. Lesofie and the government, and that makes me sad because I was there in Joburg in Mr. Lesofie's office where there was a lot of promises made. But I mean, I know lockdown changed a lot, but I also know that it's really not okay if there are double standards when some children, and I hated to say, I just wonder why are we white and black, but where black families have been assisted, but white families not. And that annoys me a lot. But you know what? That's a conversation for another night. Yeah. But yes, you are right. It's a political agenda. We know what's happening in Stellenbosch, where nobody is allowed to speak Afrikaans. You cannot even brush. I was shocked this morning to hear that you cannot even brush your teeth when you are a student at Stellenbosch University and have a conversation in Afrikaans with somebody. If they catch you do that, you are in trouble. So it's like John Steenhuisen said, they are Englishised the university now, and that is not okay. So yeah, that thing, it's like that, and we just need to find. That's why people like Eagle Wings are really amazing for me, because when I met them, they were not a creche, they were not a place, but they have changed all of that. And I pray that God will provide in so many ways that they will be able to help these kids to actually attend school.
Right. Now, just for those people overseas, Stellenbosch University was one of the finest Afrikaans universities in Africa. And sadly, it's not so good anymore. Now, let's carry on. Jackie, going back to you. What type of people end up at Eagle Wings?
Scott, the most people that arrived there is people that lost their job and people that's out on the street because of the BBE and because of COVID now. From Sunday till now, I've got 27 people, that is not single people, it's households that ask for sheltering. I mean, 27 people in 3 days.
And you aren't able to help them?
A lot of people that... Pardon?
And you aren't able to help them because you've got limited accommodation, haven't you?
No, I couldn't help them because I've got limited accommodation. That is the problem on the moment with us. We have 60 people in the shelter on the moment. 30 of them are children, but yeah, we must get some accommodation for people.
Well, look, I think I might have a solution for you guys, and I'll tell you why. Last night I spoke to Jacques Pappenfuss, who Annari knows well, and he set up a new project where people can literally rent a bed. And I think it costs 199 Rand a month, and that's it. And you literally get a bed. It's a good bed. I know it's not great fantastic accommodation, but it's better than sleeping on the street. So, you know, I'm just putting that out there. Annari can certainly speak to Jacques directly about it, but that is an option for people who would have the option of just sleeping on the street. What do you think about that, Jackie?
I think it's very good for people that want to stay 1 or 2 or 3 nights, but for people like a family that want to, I don't know what's set up there, but people with families, they have to have a room and and food, and the children have to go to school. So in a normal situation, that's what they need at the moment.
Right. Well, look, I'm going to leave this with Annari to have a chat to Jacques, and Annari can obviously chat to you, Jackie, about it. Look, we only just touched on this with Jacques last night, and there might be other services that they provide which we didn't go into. So, at least having a bed is better than sleeping on a street. Go ahead, Annari.
I just wanted to say, I wish I could actually take you and the viewers to a place, because we've visited a lot of shelters in the past years. You know that especially in lockdown, I went to Pretoria, there were shelters there. And I think, you know what, I'm not, it's not that I'm promoting Eagle Wings tonight for it. I told Marlena about them because I just felt, through all of these years, I came there when it was then like it was at that specific time and moment. And then when I see what they have done with money that people just entrust to them, it's like with our center. So I think what Jackie wants to say, that what I experienced there, and Jackie, I took, you remember, is it Elise that we brought to you guys? And I remember the pictures. I actually was naughty. I put it up my computer so that if you guys allow me, I want to show Scott and the viewers what you did, by the grace of God, to somebody like Elise with 5 children. I mean, I don't know, how can I do that? Maybe I will send it to Marlena via WhatsApp and she can put it up, whatever. But the thing is, Scott, this shelter is different. It's not really, it's not it's like a home. It's just like amazing. When I came there, there's not power. It's not like they have electricity there, but there's lights. The children are always laughing. It's the most humble people. They're always smiling. And I just wanted you guys to chat to them, because I think what Jackie is actually saying is, yes, a bed. If somebody doesn't have that money, I know some people will say, but they drug and they smoke and they do all this stuff. But what Jackie is saying is, what they are trying to do is to give people who completely lost hope, who lost everything, who are destitute, a new home. And that home means they get 3 meals a day.
Yeah.
That for me. And if you look at the meals, Scott, you need to, I wish I could put you through a porthole into Eagle's Weeks, and that you could actually see how the ladies are preparing food. It's like, I've never seen it. And it makes me so thankful and excited that we can, as white people in South Africa, help each other,
right,
and uplift each other, because that is what is important for me. I will definitely speak to Jacques about the rent-a-bed thing. I think it's a good thing for single people who might be, on the street, but I think for families it would become quite expensive if you talk about 139 rand. Is it per night or per month,
Per
Scott?
month, 199 rand per month. So it's 30 nights. So it's like 6 rand a night or something like that.
Okay, but I've got 11 beds now, so I'll definitely speak to But I've got 11 beds now, so I'll definitely speak to Jacki. Just joking. Okay, so Jacki, share your heart because I need you to, and now also in Karika, who ended up, life happened for Karika,
Actually,
and she ended up in Eagle Wings.
I was going to ask Karika, as someone who's moved to Eagle Wings, how has your life been changed by being taken in by Jacki and Annelle?
Scott, I'm always saying I'm proof of a miracle happening. About maybe 2 years ago, I lost my job. I was an accountant for a big company in Vanderbilt Park. And after 6 months, I couldn't find a new job. So even I had to call my two girls' father to come and fetch them. I was out and about on the street. And when I first landed at Eagle Wings, I was telling everybody it's only for one night and I'm not staying here and somebody's coming to save me. Yeah, well, it's 2 years later and I found my home.
Wow, that's lovely. So it's basically it's basically been just a helping hand, someone who's just changed your life.
Yeah, and I've got my kids back. And
lovely.
also I want everybody to know that I'm staying I'm staying on the shelter, but it's now out of free will. I can say it like that because
Yeah, I'm afraid our internet connection from Annelle is not great, but okay. Now let's get back to Jacki.
That was me, my pizza. Yeah.
Yes, Scott.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Annelle, your internet connection is not great. What I'm going to suggest is if you turn off your camera, it'll take less of the internet and we'll have more on the audio. So we'll have a little icon instead of your image. So if you turn off the camera, it might just improve the audio coming through. Now, I'm going to go back to Jacki. Jacki, what happens to the residents in the process at Eagle Wings? What is the situation there?
Scott, what we do with the people when they come in is just to help them to be human again.
Right.
We help, a lot of people that travel or lost everything lose their dignity also, and that's why we try to give back their dignity and that they feel that they're human again,
right.
And so that they can have hope. That's the big thing, because a lot of people is losing hope now. On the moment, they're losing hope.
Yeah, look, I get it. I understand exactly what you're talking about. I've just put your bank account details into the side chat, and they're also below the video in the description. So if anyone is able to help, please, guys, this is a worthy charity, and it's very sad what's happening in South Africa at such a large scale. Now, Annette, are you still there?
I know. Yes,
Annelle,
we still here.
Ah, fantastic. Now that's better. I have to tell you, the audio is coming through a lot better without the video. That's much better.
Okay.
I'm going to ask Karika just to continue tell us about how this has helped not only herself but her children by staying at Eagle Wings. Karika?
Scott, can you please just repeat what you said? Yes.
Yeah, sure. I
Hello?
said, can you tell everybody how staying at Eagle Wings has not just helped yourself or turned your life around, but it's also helped your children?
Okay. Yeah. As I said,
landed there. Both my kids weren't staying with me. And within 3 months, in actually 2 months, my life was turning around at such a big pace. And by the grace of God, that within 2 months' time, my the second started attending the primary school. And then 1 year later, I can now afford it. As I said, I have a job. My oldest daughter, she's here in the high school. We're all doing very well. And yes, I'm going forward in life. And that is all I wish for all the other mothers there. And if I can help in any way to be inspiration or to tell my story, to just never lose hope. Cling to your religion, cling to God, believe in yourself, believe in your children.
Right.
Create a new yourself. And there's places like Eagle Wings, you don't have to do it alone. Well, I couldn't have done it this at all without Jackie and them. And the support, we like a big family at Eagle Wings, and I wouldn't have been able to do anything without them. I would have still been where I was.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, as I say, it's absolutely tragic what the ANC have done to South Africa. Now, Jackie, Eagle Wings is your baby. Tell us about the challenges, the shocking stories and great stories, the miracles. People are set free of negative thinking. Just tell us about that side of what you do. What inspires you?
Scott, you know the shocking stories of where you get some people. No, you get some people living next to the river in not even a shack with a sink. It's full with material and things like that. But they're living next to the dam or next to the river. You know, it's shocking to see how people is living actually. And the challenges what we've got every day is to see that all the people gets food for the children, that they get the education they need, because when people get a fall, the children also it's a little bit what do you call it? Stadiger. Annari, a bit slower.
Oh, they're a bit slow.
Yeah. So that's why we open a creche at the shelter also, so we can help the children, so that when they go to grade 1, they're not slower than the other people, that other children. So
I just want to say I've got a bunch of pictures coming through. I think they must be to do with Eagle Wings.
It is indeed, Scott. I just wanted to show you. I mean, I don't know where the pictures go. I don't do this.
Yeah.
But the picture that I sent you, the first picture is the mother. As we found her, she was in a really bad state of mind. She was there pregnant with number 5. And she was so arrogant, she wanted to slap me silly. She didn't like me a lot. She sweared a lot at me, and she called me all kinds of names. At the end of the day, she moved with her children in a very desperate moment. On a Saturday morning, they were taken to Eagle Wings. And the picture down there is her, the same lady, with her children. And I cannot, when I saw this, it was like, a picture tells 1,000. A picture tells 1,000 stories or whatever. I don't have to say more. Yeah. You can look at that, and that is Jackie and her people's work. And I think they are very humble. It's very hard for some of us to really speak about what we do, because it's not about us. It's truly about what we do from our hearts to better those people's lives who are hopeless. And so this is just one. I will never ever forget these pictures, because this is what the team Jackie at Eagle Wings, Annal and everybody is doing for people who ends up there.
Right. I've just shown those pictures to everybody so that we know what that's all about. Sorry, Jackie, back to you. You were telling us about these the various things that you've seen happen at Eagle Wings. Please continue.
Sorry, Scott, I can't hear you.
Okay, Jackie, I was saying, can you just keep on telling us about some of the shocking stories, the great stories, the miracles that you've heard of that while you've had Eagle Wings?
Okay, yeah, the shocking stories was, what I said, where we get people and where they're living, and the great stories is when people like Rika, and we've got a few people that already moved out. The husbands get jobs and then they move out, and we give. If they move out, we give them a bed and we give them cutlery and everything with them so that they can go outside. So
right.
that's the amazing story. The miracle stories is that God survived. It's nearly 5 years that without any government support, we survive. My people always eat. There's always food, and if the sugar is, with a lot of prey, like one day they finished, and I thought, oh gosh, what must I do? Must we going to buy sugar, or must I go and buy bread? And so the next day, a guy stopped there, and he delivered 225 kilograms of sugar. So
wow.
I just got to go and buy the bread.
Wow. No, look, it's amazing. It's amazing what happens. Now, we're talking about single people, and I've got a message here in the side chat from Franco de Scala, or I think it's Franco de something. It's SCSLA. And he says, wow. I can say I get support from Eagle Wings. They really helped me a lot, as I'm also a single parent. You must know Franco, Jackie? Can you hear me, Jackie?
He's Franco de Scala. Do you know him? Because he says you are supporting him a lot as a single father.
I don't think she can hear us at the moment. Okay, let's continue. Now, going back to Annel. Annel, are you there? Annel?
Jackie, wouldn't it be better if Annel comes to you, or you guys are at the same place, and then maybe you can just rotate there when he speaks to Annel? Wouldn't that help you guys? Then we have one internet user there. Can you hear us, Annel? Scott, because they are together there at Eagle Wings, because I spoke to them.
So they're cutting their bandwidth by half. Yeah. Look, what I'll do, Jackie, if you can hear me, what I suggest is what Annari has just said, is if you can go and speak to Annel and Karika and get them to come and join you on this internet and turn their internet off, because I think the problem is that there's too many people using or sharing that same internet in your house. Okay. Look, while that's sorting out, Annari. Okay. Now,
sorry, Scott, do you hear me?
Who's that? Is that Annel? Or is that Jackie?
It's Jackie.
Oh, hi, Jackie. Yes, I hear you now. Yeah, it's clearly the internet's not coping over there.
Scott, while we're on, I don't know if Annel and Jackie can hear me. I wanted to tell about the day we fought because I think what is currently happening in South Africa, I don't know if it's happening all around the world, but children do get taken away from their parents and by social workers or police people or whatever.
Yeah.
And one of the amazing things at Eagle Wings was because, and we're talking about Elise, because the lady, the pictures that I shared, her kids were taken away from her and placed at different places. And then they started working with her. And when she was called to before they go to children's court, we had to sit with the social worker, and we actually had to fight. We had to fight to let them understand that Elise has changed her whole life around, and that we believe that she's going to be a good mother. And it was amazing how me, Anel, and how we actually worked together to actually convince the social worker, who did not want to reunite the children with Elise. And at the end of the day, how they actually agreed and allowed Elise to be reunited with her kids. And from that moment, they were staying there. And that is the picture that you've actually shared. So for me, it's like, I just feel so happy when organizations and NPOs can join hands. We cannot do the same thing, but each one playing a role can actually bring huge changes to people's lives when children are removed because of situations and whatever. So I just wanted Anel to actually share the story because we were fighting for Elise to get her children back.
Right. Now, Anel, can you hear me now? I think their internet's gone a bit cactus. Look, you know a lot about Eagle Wings, Annari, so I'm going to just ask you a few questions, and because clearly they've got a problem there. Okay, what is the situation of the shelters and white squatter camps now in South Africa? It's getting a lot worse, isn't it?
Yes, indeed, Scott. Okay. Annari krag aan. Okay, they had load shedding, Scott. So she just informed me that the power came on. So maybe you must just try to reconnect with them, because the load shedding is done. They have power. She just WhatsApp or she just messaged that they have power. So maybe before I answer that question, you can try to just get them back onto
I'm just trying
the
now.
show. Okay. Okay, here's Jackie.
Hi, Jackie. Welcome back. You just had power shedding, have you?
Yeah, the power was off, and now we're back on power.
Okay. All right. What Annari was just telling me about is the situation of the shelters and white squatter camps, and I was suggesting that they're getting more and more and getting more and more desperate. Well, what's your view on what's happening there?
Yes, for sure, Scott. I think the people with the PPE, the big companies and people can't give any donations anymore. And that's a problem, I think. And there's a lot of people that are losing their work. So, the need is getting bigger and bigger. I don't know what we're going to do about this. If we're not going to stand up, I don't know what we're going to do about this, because the white squatter camps are nearly full, and all the shelters and the camps here in the Vaal also, they're full. So, and there's a lot of people that they lose their houses, they lose their jobs. So it's going to be, it is a problem here in South Africa.
Yeah, and just for those who are overseas, the reason this happens is because of black economic empowerment, which has basically made the white population unemployable because of government policy. It's absolutely tragic what's happening. Now, Jackie, do you have any Do you have any regular donors that help you every month? Do the government, well, we know the government don't help you at all, but do you have any regular donors?
Yeah. No, I don't have regular. I've got those that give month, different. Some, like Annari, just okay, they got donate this month. Next month, someone else helps us. So we have regular donations.
So you're really living from day to day?
We do.
Wow.
And Scott, we don't. The people that can pay, we ask them 600 rand a month, and that is with 3 meals a day. So, and there's a lot that can't pay because we've got so many mothers with children, and they can't pay. So they're staying, for free there. There's a lot of people that's staying for free, and there's a lot of maintenance involved in a place like that.
Yeah.
Just day to day, the grass must be cut and it's petrol, and we have to get the children to school and back. On a daily basis, it's a lot of, expenses.
Yeah. Now, Pat has said in the side chat, I want to send some money for them. So, Pat, I'm going to put the banking details there in the side chat. Thank you so much for your help there. Okay. What is your need right now, Jackie? What's your biggest need right now when it comes to Eagle Wings?
Scott, our biggest need on the moment is to get shelters. I want to build some small little houses to get bigger. Food is always, you need food. It doesn't matter what food. But the biggest thing now on the moment is we have to expand because there's so many in my area where we're staying. There's a lot of people that doesn't have housing, so I have to expand.
Yeah, and again for people who are not from South Africa, the important thing that they need to understand is that the ANC government does absolutely nothing to support the minority white population, absolutely nothing, and which is quite ironical because the tax base is largely taken from the white population and mainly from the Western Cape. So you've got the ANC government, which is cleaning up all the taxes from the rich white population, and then none of those taxes are given back to the poor whites who are suffering in the country. And this is not a racist comment. This is a factual comment. And I'm sure that both Annari and Jackie would agree with what I've just said.
Yes, you want to speak, Annari?
No, Jackie, you can.
Yes, Scott. You know what? I've seen in lockdown. I've seen. It was crazy with the food parcels. For the people, we suffered to get some food parcels. We didn't get some food parcels, not from the government, nothing. We struggled, and people from local people came and they donated, and we made parcels and gift parcels out and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the government doesn't do nothing. Nothing over time also.
Yeah, no, that's a tragedy and the reality of the situation. Now, I'll get back to Annelle in a second, but Jacki, just sticking with you, what is your mission for the future with Eagle Wings?
Scott, I want to get another. I want to get another property because I want to start old age home. You know what? In the Wall Triangle, there is no people. There's old age homes, but they're asking 5,000 to 7,000 rand a month. But our Adley, that gets 1,700 a month, they can't go to any, to old age homes. So I want to build a place or get a place for the old people where they can pay 600 rand a month, get 3 meals a day, and looked after. That's a big need, I think, on the moment, because our old people, some of them, this is not a story, guys. Some of them are buying cat food and dog food in tin to eat.
And that's not good for you.
No, it's not good. And I mean, if they have to pay their rent and the electricity, and they have to buy food, they can't survive.
Yeah.
On the South.
Now, what is happening in South Africa at the moment is quite tragic, and obviously. A large percentage of the white population have a strong Christian faith and believe that they will get through this. Jacki, how do you see this persecuted minority group actually getting through what they are going through right now?
Scott, actually, actually, I don't have an answer for that on the moment because I don't know how we're going to get through it. Only pray. I hope that God's going to help us through this. But things on, and it's not. I'm not a doom prophet. I'm not a doom prophet, but things are not looking good in South Africa at the moment. So I don't think it's going to be getting better.
You know what I find extraordinary is the fact that the mainstream media, they talk about the vaccines and the COVID-19 and all this sort of stuff, and they've completely lost the plot when you look at the humanitarian disaster happening all around them, with people starving. And I'm not just talking about the white people, I'm talking about the black people, the colored people. They're all starving. It's absolutely despotic what this government has done, the corruption, the amount of money they've stolen, and yet the media don't go near that, do that? They just, it's like a taboo subject. You can't talk about it. What are your thoughts on that, Annari?
Well, Scott, you know me. I'm like, they must get rid of all the whiteys to see us, not doing something amazing. Because I grew up in the Free State, a coalfoot meisie, I didn't wear shoes. And I believe that our forefathers, what do you call it in English, the people before
Forefathers.
Yeah, the voortrekkers. What is the voortrekkers? They climbed over mountains with the observers. Look, we're not sissies, man. We can do this. So in April, we are going to start a project called A Home for a Home. We're going to say, but I will do with my team the necessary investigations to see if a family who's in need, what do they have? Because I think I have learned through lockdown that we have so many stuff. We have so much that we can share actually. So in a home for a home, we're actually going to look at a house and where there's need, if there's still a house left, and we're going to teach these families how to make maybe their own first garden. Everybody is complaining about water, but I still believe God will send the rain, or there's always an excuse. But if we're not going to start doing like Jacki, do things in a prophetic way, move, because if we stay and we believe that we're down and out, we're going to be down and out, okay? So I also believe that Jacki, she's got such a big heart. When she said to me about the old age people, I was saying, yes, there's old age people that, old people that I know need somebody to take care of, but it's time, and that's what I'm going to do, is to ask mothers or ask children to take back their mothers and their fathers, because if we're not going to live together and share some cost, we're not going to make it. So it ain't over till the fat lady sings, but I think we're also spoiled in a way, Scott, that a lot of us are so used to having a lot that I believe that I'm praying that there will be a new generation, and not just white people, because we see, I meet a lot of black people who say it was better before, 94. And then I look Sunday at the movie Poppy Nongena, and I realized it was awful before 94 as well. So we need to find the middle, where we learn to respect each other and get rid of the corrupt people. And it's not just, look at Bosasa. We know it was Gavin Watson. It was a white guy. There's always corrupt whiteys and blackies. And then I'm talking about a corrupt heart. Because it doesn't matter about your color. I believe the corruption begins in the heart, where you want to steal from other people. Yeah. Just this afternoon, I heard that there will become an investigation now, because some of these medical people are being putting their families onto the system for the injection, for the vaccine. So everywhere, people are trying to do corrupt things, but it comes from the top. That's why it is like it is. Yeah. So I want to actually say to Jacki, I'm not sitting with a bunch of people, because Jacki, that's why I honor you guys so much, because you take these people and you make sure they are loved, they are fed, and that the children go to school and all those things. So I hear you, but we also at the Purple Foundation were saying, but we need to take hands more with our safety homes, with you people, the shelters, to see how we can actually get people to help. Because if somebody doesn't want to take care of their mother or their father, at least pay somebody to do that, even though it's not a lot of money. But I think it's time in South Africa that we, really realize that it ain't over, and we can do this by just sharing what we have and helping each other, be kind to each other, because there are terrible times ahead, but I'm a strong believer that we can do this. That's what I believe, and I will not just roll over and die because I'm the minority. I believe in my heart that we can still inspire and uplift the good people that have a different skin color to actually better our country. That is my belief, Scott. I will never, just sit down and say, oh, well, we're all going to die. It ain't going to happen in my world. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I can't see that happening. Now, Lynn has asked, what is the address where one can deliver clothing and other items? Jacki, have you got like a central address where people can drop items off, or is there a phone number people can call if they've got stuff they want to deliver to you?
They can phone me, Scott, and then I'll give them a PIN location.
Okay, what's the phone number?
Can I give my number? 079
Yeah.
104
Yeah.
7320.
Okay, let me just repeat that to you. 079 104 7320.
Yes.
Okay. I'll just put here Jacki's cell for clothing, etc., deliveries, etc.
I just want to, Annari, you said that with the old age people that the children must come and have look after their parents and things like that. You know, Annari, we've got people there. Some of them 10 living there 10 years now. Hey, all
Wow.
these elderly people. And their children doesn't come and visit. Never, ever. Never, ever.
Yeah.
There's one lady, she's seeking her child for 7 years now.
Oh, no.
In the morning, and she's in her 70s now. In the morning, she takes a bag, puts some food in, a warm blanket, and then she's standing next to the road, and she said, "Oh, maybe he's coming here." Other days, then she heard, "Yeah, he's in Vienna," and then she's taking off to Vienna and go and have a look if he's not there.
That's
yeah,
tragic.
so there is all. They don't come and visit their parents, and that's it. They come, they phone me, and they just drop them, and then you don't see them again.
Yeah. Now, I just want to let Annelle know that I haven't forgotten her. Annelle, I want to get back to Annelle. Annelle, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Ah, fantastic. And I can hear you very clearly. I think it's better without the camera. I think the camera is stealing too much of the network. Now, what are the job opportunities, especially for single mothers, Annelle?
Yes. Like some of our mothers can't go out, get a job to go and work because some of them have never have any experience. They never work in their lives. So we want actually to do something on the shelter so they can work there on the shelter and get the extra money in, and like that they can get more money and have more money for their kids.
Right.
So we sitting with to see what can we do there.
Okay. Now, how many people do you accommodate at the moment at Eagle Wings?
52.
Wow. Okay. And as Jacki said just a moment ago, in the last week you've had 27 people knocking on the door looking for somewhere to stay. It's just absolutely crazy.
Yes, yes.
And when,
yes, like this afternoon there was an old guy, he's 97 years old, and he was walking and he wanted a place and we couldn't help him. So because we're full.
He's 97 years old.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is the reality of what's happening in South Africa. And for those Google thought
Yeah,
police
and
who are
I
watching,
don't know where he's tonight.
yeah, for the Google thought police who are watching, just understand what's actually going on in South Africa. Now, okay, what about transportation for events, school, etc., Annelle?
On this stage, we drive some of the people up and down. We've got the Crusader, so our kids starting swimming lessons now. There's a lady that sponsors us now for that. So I put 10 kids in my car and drive them Monday and Wednesday to the swimming pool. But to go to clinics and things, there's always a problem with transport because sometimes I'm busy going fits some people, and there's not always transport for them.
Yeah, yeah. Look, I just think what you guys are doing is quite extraordinary under the circumstances. And, I have to tell you, a beacon of light, as far as I'm concerned, is Annari. I mean, her positive attitude, despite all the negative shit that's going on down. I don't know how you do it, Annari. I really don't know how you do it.
Well, Scott, I can sit here. I mean, people following my Facebook page will see me many times cry, in a live video because of frustration. Like on Monday, we opened a child abuse case at the local police station, and I cannot understand why, but they're not allowed to open a case docket. We have to wait for an FCS member, that is a family child or family center services. They must come out to this moment. And the shocking part is last week when this little girl came to the trauma center, she wanted to put on a dress. She's 4 years old. And when she took off the tracksuit pants, we saw the black beaten bruises all over her legs.
Oh, no.
And we couldn't understand, so we contacted the social workers. Long story short, I tried to open the case on Monday. They were in children's court today, Thursday. I still, because the police official on the phone said to me, you cannot open a case. I was saying to her, but Sergeant, I can open a case. I'm not stupid. And we did see. So for me, yes, I'm positive. But I think for me, doing this for 12 years, I cry a lot. I get frustrated. But we stand up and we move forward. Because 3 weeks ago, Scott, I felt when a 3-year-old were given back to her drug addict parents, and now they disappeared with her. Because the social worker said to me, but the home was just a little bit dirty. That's not the case. When we spoke to the neighbors, they were telling us that the father would pull the mother by her hair down the street 2 o'clock in the morning. He would beat the mother, he would beat the child. And we've given all that information through to the social worker. She never spoke to them. She never spoke to the complainant. She didn't even, I wonder if she read my report. So those things, when Jacki is doing what she's doing, sometimes I think I must just feed people and love them because I can do that. But what will happen if all of us decide to not fight for our children? We were looking forward to a great meeting this morning with the colonel as a head person at the Family Child Services. And we've planned this meeting for 5 years. When she stopped at the trauma center, she said to me, Annari, I'm very sorry, but we only have 30 minutes left. We cannot be longer. What can you discuss in 30 minutes?
That's crazy.
What can you? So yes, I'm positive. I will always be positive. And yes, Jacki is also a very positive person with Anel. But sometimes, and I think that is what I want to say to people out there, never lose your realness, because I do cry. I do get frustrated. I sometimes want to quit because it just feels like, you know what, Lord, this is hard. But luckily, when I wake up the next morning, I've got a new strength. I pick up the pieces and we try again. And that's how we will win at the end of the day, because I don't think quit is in my vocabulary, even though I do cry, I do get frustrated. I see Jacki nods her head. Sometimes you just feel, especially when these professionals tell you, you are not an expert witness, you should rather go and do your garden or play with your kids or play with the doggies. They demean you in so many ways. So yes, sometimes I really feel like, you know what, this is hard, but quitting is not part of how I was brought up. And I always say Jesus did not stop. He went all the way to the cross. He died on that cross, but he stood up in 3 days. And that is for me the reason why we do stand up and we continue, because he walked the whole journey for us. He didn't quit on us.
Yeah. Now, look, I just have to say that for those people overseas who are watching this live stream, I'm going to give you some facts which are going to shock you. The first fact is that South Africa is recognized as the rape capital of the world today. The rape capital of the world today. Now, if you're going to take a rapist to court, 9 out of 10 times you need a DNA test done because of you know what I'm talking about here. The South African Police Service, their forensic side, has not done a DNA test, has not done one DNA test this year. They've got a backlog of 175,000 DNA tests. And this is the same ANC government who, under the president, is saying they are going to tackle gender-based violence.
It's a joke.
It is a complete and utter joke. And you know why they haven't done any DNA tests this year? Well, the excuse is because they don't have any money. The police have run out of money. But they've got money to send a bloody police helicopter up because there's a guy kite surfing in the sea when he shouldn't be. And they send, imagine how expensive it is to send a police helicopter up to try and push this guy in so they can arrest him. This is how completely cactus things are in South Africa. It is a gangster state, which I often refer to. And I guess you would agree with me, Annari, that you've got like the mafia running the country now.
Well, Scott, I'm telling you, we just heard, I think you also heard about the millions of evidence that cannot be tracked because of an account not being paid by government. So, and that is valuable. Millions of pieces of evidence in criminal cases that completely disappeared. There's no way to track it, and because the accounts were not paid, it's done and dusted. So yes, and I'm dealing with two children now, whose father, it was a big case. I'm not going to get to collaborate a lot, but he was sent 909 years to jail now, okay? And what we discussed this afternoon with the teacher is that it's now 2 years since he was convicted, but when a case finishes in South Africa, a court case, when it gets there, when you are lucky and you get to court and you are trialed and you get your conviction, what happens to those children? Because these girls now are struggling with so many things, Scott, and there's no proper assistance. If I just looked at the stats on teenage suicides in our country. And that's why I'm so thankful for a place like Eagle Wings that take care of a family.
Yeah.
Because if you just take in one, but it's chaos, Scott. If I can really, and I think, Jackie, you would agree with me if you can take it from after I'm finished, I need to stay positive as a role model for our young people who looks up to us, and even for families, because if we look at everything that we face, we might as well stop living. We can live and die. But we cannot just focus on the bad, because I believe on top of all of this negativity, you have the Eagle Wings, you have Unchain Our Children, you have the Ladies Lighthouse in the Western Cape. I can call you all these names. There's still wonderful people who are choosing life every day to set an example, to bring hope, and to say, because the moment we stop, it's going to be more evil in our country. So yes, we have a lot of challenges, Scott. I am meeting, and again, I'm looking forward to a meeting with from Solidarity, on the social work scenario, because Jackie, I think you guys also struggle a lot with social workers. Can you maybe just confirm or not confirm that, because you also struggle with social workers in the shelter?
Jackie?
Yeah, we do. That's also a problem. We've got a little new one here, but in the past, you can talk to people and you can ask people's help, and they don't come forward and they don't do their work. That's it. And the children that's going through the trauma and things, actually, I mean, it's for them it's quicker to send a child to Westtown or wherever, you know. Um, I don't know. They don't do their work. That's it. And they don't follow.
Well, I just want to pick up on what Annari said a moment ago regarding the police. Now, I put up a video just yesterday. I've put myself through torment the last couple of days because I've been watching the trial against Julius Malema and Ndlozi for the assault against a policeman at the funeral of Mrs. Mandela. And I decided to do that because I just wanted to see how the court system works. And it's quite clear to me that the public prosecutor and the judge are in Malema's camp. And I'll tell you why. There were a couple of times when the public prosecutor was speaking where he looked over directly at Malema and winked. You know, you could actually see him winking. Like, you know, don't worry, we got this sorted. And what actually came out, now, Malema is, just for those people overseas, is the leader of the economic freedom fighters, and he's a disgusting bit of work. He's the guy who's been going around at these rallies he holds saying, kill the Boer, kill the farmer. You know, he's really just a shocking man. But the thing that really struck me, and what I put down on a video just yesterday, it's there, you can see it on Loving Life, is that in the court, the investigator who is now retired, who was actually investigating the allegation against Malema, said that all the evidence that he was given, he signed into a special book to say that, yeah, we've got this evidence, you know. It was not put in a central secure place. He then took that evidence and put it in his own locker, his own locked locker. So it wasn't controlled by a third body, or like in a bank, you have two people with keys, so you get in and get out the money and stuff like that. This was the guy who was actually investigating the case, who actually controlled the police evidence. And of course, backhanders come out and that evidence just disappears. That's what the reality is in South Africa. And the very interesting thing, or the disturbing thing that came out, was that in that police station, the register of police evidence that was being held disappeared. It just disappeared. Just disappeared. And just coincidentally, this is when Julius Malema was about to appear before court. You know, clearly someone's got a bit of a backhander and things go missing. This is the reality of what's going on in the police service in South Africa. It's absolutely shocking. Now, I'm sorry, I'm having a bit of a rant here, but I've got so much stuff I could be saying, and I just can't. Okay.
Jackie, I just want to say, I remember now, I want you to also explain to Scott the frustration when you remember the case you told me about that you reported to me, where you could hear everything in a home, because let us also be honest, the moral decay, can I call it decay, of the white man in South Africa is also shocking.
Absolutely.
Because we see how mothers and fathers are sexually grooming, abusing, the most horrible stories. Jackie, I remember that one case you called me about. We're shocked. You cannot understand how mothers and fathers who are supposed to love their children can do the things they do. So yeah, Jackie also helped me a few times when I tried to help her, like I said, and Scott, she always, we had a few families, if Jackie did not take them in, and that's why I'm so thankful, and I'm praying that people will bless them tonight, and I'm praying for miracles at Eagle Wings, for more places, because when people end up on the street, like when I call Annel, because I normally call Annel and say, Annel, het julle plekkie, and every time there is a place, because the opposite of the story is, if they cannot help me, a child will be removed from a mother and a father, put into a safe house, as if it is not traumatic enough to lose everything and be on the street. So if it wasn't for Jacki, Eagle Wings, Annal, who always try to help us when people ends up at the trauma center saying, you know what, I've lost everything, I'm going to lose my child if I don't get a place to stay. So I'm just praying that that we will see more places of like Eagle Wings. It's not a safe house, but I can also see it as a safe place for families in need of care and protection because they lost it all.
Right. Now, we've just been talking about trauma, and I'm going to ask Annel. Annel, tell us about your experience when it comes to trauma counseling for mothers and children.
Yeah, that is a difficult story because we don't have always the answers for the mothers and the children. You get lots of children that is very traumatized, that going through a lot, seeing a lot in little life of them. So, yes, and I always try to talk to them and help them, but that's what we can do. And to go and going to people, it's cost a lot. So these people can't afford to go to people and help them. They don't have the funds for that. So we try on our side to help them.
Yeah, right. Now, look,
Scott, can I say something on this?
Go ahead, Annari.
I visited Professor Wenzel Koetser from the university in Potch yesterday, and I am going to enroll now in a certificate course over a year, 12 months period, on how to deal or how to help adults, but there's also another course, another year for teenagers and little ones. And I would like people now, because I think it would be amazing, and I will speak, as you said now that you wanted the ladies in the shelter to be equipped so that they can actually earn some money to provide. Maybe one should look at money to enroll some of those. I'm thinking about Ulrika, who's sitting there, to do a trauma course, a proper trauma course, so that you guys have the tools actually to help these people coming into the shelter and who needs trauma counseling. Because yesterday I was amazed, and he spoke about another woman, Linda Grobler, who's doing play therapy, and the children coming into your shelter that you said are now who has seen so many things on the street. I call them streetwise at the age of 3, where they will tell you how to smoke a rock and use some drugs because they were there when mommy and daddy did that. So yeah, just a thought, maybe Jacki, if people want to donate for this wonderful course at the university, please do that, because we as the Purple Foundation, I'm going to take maybe 4 or 5 people to do this course to enable us to be more effective in the community, especially on trauma, Scott.
Right. Jacki?
Sorry, the internet was gone again for a moment.
We were just talking about the trauma side of things, the trauma courses that Annari is talking about.
Yeah, there's a lot of trauma with the children.
Okay, guys, we seem to be having issues with the internet again. Annari, I'm going to wrap up this live stream now, because we've been going for about 90 minutes. I think we got the message out there regarding Eagle Wings and the fantastic work that these ladies are doing. And we had the example of Karika and how she's been helped at Eagle Wings. I'm going to just go around the room. I think Annel and Karika are still with us. And again, I've put the banking details if people can help in the side chat. I'll just do it again. And I've also given Jacki's phone number. So if you've got clothing or furniture or something like that that you can donate, please. So, now Jacki is back. All right, Jacki, we're going to wind up the live stream now. What I'm going to do is just go around the room. I'll start with Anel. Anel, do you want to just give people a message before we shut down the live stream? Anel?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, yeah.
Yeah, I just think what I can say is nobody is perfect. This can happen to anyone. Anyone can lose everything like just now. So to stay in the shelter isn't to be ashamed of. This is our biggest hard thing, that we tell our people that this is their home. They mustn't be ashamed to stay there.
Oopsie, we lost everyone but Annari. Anel, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, now Karika, is there a message you'd like to give to people just in closing or winding up the live stream?
Yes, I just want to add to what Anel just said. I mean, I was at a very good stage in my life, and then I lost everything, and at first I was very ashamed, and 2 years down the lane I'm very proud of who I've become thanks to the shelters. So don't lose hope and be proud of everything you accomplish in life, even if you have to start from the bottom. This journey has been life-changing for me, and I will never ever be ashamed. I'm actually very proud to say that I'm a member of Eagle Wing Shelter. And by the grace of God, he never left my side. And yeah, I will keep on encouraging other people. There's nothing to be ashamed of. I'm very, very proud. And I'm very humble and very thankful.
Fantastic. And Annari's just given you a big heart. Jacki, is there something you'd like to say in winding up the live stream?
Yeah, sorry about the internet. I see then I'm in and then I'm off and things like that. That's okay.
That's fine.
I was just saying, Nana, you know the children. Sorry, Scott. I just want to come back to this. You know, in our community, when the fathers lose their jobs and the mothers they're going to drugs. And what they do on the end is they send that little boy that is 12 years old with the drugs to the school, and then the buyer come and picks it up there. We've got a case here also that the little boys went down to with the road, go and pick up the drugs, bring it to his dad. They do the drugs together with that. So it's very bad, you know. And you can, I've reported it already a few times, but
and nothing ever happens.
No.
Right. Now, Annari, is there something you'd like to say in winding up the live stream? And then I'm going to ask you to say a prayer.
Yeah, Scott, like always, I just want to say I do not want to deny that there are challenges and that there are a lot of struggles, and that, you know, the saddest thing for me is children going to bed without food, but that's around the world. It's not something just in South Africa.
Yeah.
And I also want to just say that I also want to be very careful that we as white South Africans are putting on the victim hat. Because, yes, we can blame the government for a lot of things, but we cannot blame the government if we rape our children, if we beat them blue, if we misuse alcohol, if we buy alcohol before we buy food, that is not in front of the door of the ANC. Doesn't matter how corrupt they are, it is not in front of their door. I mean, I want us as white South Africans to actually remember what we were taught. And if you did have a really terrible, bad upbringing where you were beaten blue, I mean, I met a woman in November who was, as a little girl, so tortured and abused, and her father killed her mother. I mean, how bad can you get it in life? But she's an amazing member in the community. And so, yeah, that is my end message, that we as people, and forget about the white, that we as living adult people should not put on the victim hat. Yes, if you fall victim, deal with it. Don't put it underneath the rug and deny that it happened, but deal with it. Stand up and stand your ground. Be kind and do whatever you can to love your children, to support them. And you know what? Just be light. Be light in a very fraught, broken world, because that is what we can do. Nothing else. We can be kind to each other and we can give from what we have. And I'm telling you, everything changes when we do that. So that's all that I wanted to say. We shouldn't put on the victim hat and stay there, because it's not going to take us anywhere.
Right. Now, just
So
Jackie, would you like
Yes.
to just give us your cell phone number again for people who want to deliver clothing and bits and pieces to your destination?
Scott, it's 079
Yeah.
104
Yeah.
7320.
Okay. I'll just drop that again in the side chat. If there's anyone listening who's got clothing that they don't use or they don't need, anything that is usable, furniture, cushions, linen, please just give Jackie a call, and food, and she'll tell you where you can drop it or where they can pick it up. Alrighty, look, I want to thank you ladies for joining me tonight and sharing with me your journey. I hope that the exposure you get through this live stream will bring some help to your organization. Karika, I'm so happy that you've found a great home, and it's just lovely to see what Eagle Wings has done to help you in your position. And to Anel and Jackie, fantastic work, ladies. I mean, that is just absolutely brilliant what you're doing. And of course, Annari, well, what can I say about Annari? She's just an amazing woman. I'm going to hand over to Annari to close this live stream with a prayer. Annari?
Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you for Scott, for Loving Life Channel, for Marlena, for everybody who's the moderators, everybody who's working hard to bring the things out there. Lord, I want to thank you for Jackie and Anel and Karika, Lord, that you have planted a seed in their hearts to take care of those who have lost all hope, who have lost everything. Father, I pray that through this program, you will work in people's hearts. You know, that they will tell, Lord, and that you will bless them with everything that they need to continue the great work that you have started in them. Lord, I pray for Scott there, who's got challenges on his side, for Marlena, everybody involved in this channel. Thank you that you provide. Thank you that you are still in control. Doesn't matter how it looks from the outside. We love you, Lord, and we pray that you will bless everybody who's listening tonight, those who have pain, those who have needs, those who have losses. Lord, we pray that you, in the mighty name of Jesus, will cherish, will heal, will nurture, and will take care of everyone. We pray this in the wonderful name of Jesus. Amen.
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 Thank you, Annari.
Thanks,
That's lovely. Okay. All right, Loving Life family, and everybody who's joined us tonight, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed, and also please remember to register to lovinglifetv.com, because we are transitioning off YouTube because we just find it a very difficult platform to get our message out, if I can put it that way. To the moderators, thanks guys for looking after the side chat. I saw we had at least one troll which has been dealt with. And for everybody who's joined us tonight, thank you for joining us. And please, if you are able to help Eagle Wings, their banking account details are below this video in the description. And I'll also drop Jackie's cell phone number in there too. So if you can deliver food or clothing or linen or whatever it might be to them, please do contact Jackie. Alrighty, I'll leave the side chat open for a few minutes so you guys can say your goodbyes to each other. And don't forget, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Johannesburg time, we will be going live again. And tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., I'll be going live with our intrepid walkers, with their walk of faith from Howick in KwaZulu-Natal all the way to Cape Town via Bethlehem. Incredible, incredible guys. Alrighty. Thanks guys.
A lot, Scott.
And we'll catch up with you again soon, Annari. And you know, you are just a beacon of light. I love it. Okay,
Thanks
guys.
a lot, Scott. Bye-bye, everyone. Like Slav.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, Scott.
Hi. Okay, guys. I'll leave the side chat.